Hello, welcome to Gemstone Tarot. Tuesday, 29th of July, 2025. Gosh, it's really taking me a while to get there for some reason. I just can't, it's like I can't come to terms with the date every day. And I have to say, and this is definitely how I like my life to be, but this may be one of the only times I have to acknowledge the date in the entire day. The rest of the time, I've got pretty much no idea. But yeah, it probably does me good on some level. I'm just looking into the hotel. There's nobody in there, but she did go in and clean it very valiantly as well. And nobody has arrived yet, so it's just the sad hangers. And then last night, I'll say this quite quietly. Last night, the street, my street has a WhatsApp. And it's quite sociable, I know. And last night, Kirsten, I'm thinking of you. They had a potluck supper. And the whole thing was, because it's quite multicultural, that you all bring like a food of your country. So I didn't go to that. Not because, I did walk past with the boy who went down the shop. I know, spectacular. And we could hear them laughing. It sounded really nice, but I just thought I can't go to like a potluck supper and go, do you know what? I'm not very hungry. And also I've brought chicken nuggets and chips. This is yellow tea. So I gave it a miss. I know, I'll go to something else, but it's not good for me. I don't do potluck suppers. I've told you this. You know this about me. I don't go there. I might go to the group weeding. That's pulling up weeds in the street, by the way. My street's not that bohemian. Anyway, we are using MJ Colour 9. I want to say Guardian of the Galaxy, but it's not. That would be a whole different tarot altogether. Guardian of the Night. Guardian of the Night Tarot, which is there's always light to be found even on the darkest of nights. Discover a vast menagerie. A vast menagerie indeed. God. Oh dear. I found these glasses in my car, so they could be pretty awful actually. No, they're not too bad. They're a bit too magnified, which is exciting. A vast menagerie of animal energy to guide you on your journey. Okay, an invitation to dream divine dreams and find your path through the forest. Could I tell you that the boy rescued a frog the other day? I'm very proud. I know, he did it with my brother, so his uncle. They'd been to the pub and I think a drop had been taken, you know, and it was raining and they took my umbrella, which is quite a good umbrella. So they took my umbrella and then on the way back there was a frog and it was heading for a main road. I know. So my brother, he's a real animal lover actually. He's the one who made the emojis for my gem stars. So cool. He's done an emoji of Leia, an emoji of Valentine, and is currently working on an emoji of Minnie. He's a slow worker. He's a Scorpio. Anyway, he was with the boy and they put the frog in my umbrella. I think they made the umbrella like upside down and they carried the frog until they found a house with a pond and they put it next to there. I'm so proud. I'm very proud. Okay, let's have a look at this. Woohoo! 10 of Pentacles. And we're talking bees. Bees and honey. And this reminds me of my best friend down bottom of the road, the Aries, who has the bee rescue kit. And we rescued a bee right where the boy found the frog. Someone clearly has a garden that's just got a menagerie or something. Anyway, 10 of Pentacles, nice card to get. The land of milk and honey, nectar, bees, tree of life. in the Rider-Waite, it's got that kind of slightly weird, you know, grandfather, dog, kids, family crest, castle, insignias, all that sort of stuff. But it kind of means max security, thinking about your security, thinking about your end game, thinking about where you live and how you want to live, and not just monetary. I know it's 10 of Pentacles, but also to do with family and to do with generations and to do with history and where you belong. So it's quite a nice feeling card. And then, this is why I thought of the frog, the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is the energy that we're in at the moment. I call it like the mini Hanged Man card because it's the same kind of energy. You have this idea crossed over, but you have the blindfold on and you can't see what you need to see, but also what you need to see has not really been invented yet. It's a putative card, the Two of Swords. Love that word. It's a card in the making. It's an energy in the making. So what you see is not what you get, and you don't see much. So you have these two ways you could do it, or two ideas, or two things that cross over each other. And you can either hedge your bets, but it usually goes nowhere, or just accept that at the moment you have a limited vision of it, and that's okay, because that will change. When Mercury's retrograde, there are other things to concentrate on, and often the concentration is like a sort of backdoor concentration. It's like it's happening over there behind your back. It's not happening right here in front of you. Then we have the Page of Wands, and this is the energy, and I do think there's going to be bursts of creative energy, so use them when they come. You know, don't worry about where they're going, where they're going to come from next, because you're not going to know. There's a certain shambolic randomness about this, about Mercury retrograde, but about where we're at the moment with energy. I feel scattered and discombobulated and a little bit defeated, if I'm honest, and just a bit. It is. I keep getting the image of being dragged through a hedge backwards, and then you're like, where am I? You know, it's a bit like that. Stumbling about, but stumbling is better than nothing. And then we get this gorgeous, 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 gorgeous card. Look at that. The Lovers. The Lovers. When you get the Lovers, this is a message that there will be a choice, but it isn't yet. And I think, is that someone tell me, a moth or a firefly? Because it looks like fireflies up there. And we've got, is it Caduceus? I can never say it right. The twisty snake thing. It's Major Arcana, the Lovers. It's kind of Gemini energy because of the twins. And for me, I call it kicking it into the long grass. So there's a choice to make, but instead of a choice of you know, writing it all down and working it all out, it's more, do I veer off to the left over here, or do I veer off to the right? That isn't yet. That will come sort of mid-September. But I feel like the sparks of what's happening now relates to that. And then finally, this is just so glorious. Look at that. We get the King of Pentacles. I love the King of Pentacles. Now, I'm going to assume, is that a bull? It doesn't look like a bull. See, I thought it was a cow, but male, I don't know. I'm completely like, you know, I'm no good. Somebody tell me exactly what everyone's going to know. I know it's me. But hey, no shame. I'm just terrible. So I don't know. King of Pentacles, though, I do know what that means. King of Pentacles means somebody may help you with this. There may be some money coming your way because we started with the Ten of Pentacles. It feels good energy. It feels like remuneration and support and mentorship. And possibly, and this is weird because Mercury's retrograde, but I always think it's worth kicking around applying for a few jobs. So, because you get weird returns, and sometimes that's good. And it may set something up that doesn't work out now, but it works out in 6 weeks, 6 months. So if you're feeling speculative about jobs, go for it, especially if they seem like they're outside of your wheelhouse. They probably are, but I don't think that's a problem. So yeah, that's what I mean as well when we're looking at the Ten of Pentacles with the bees. You're speculating about your future, about your security, and about your wealth and worth, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. Interesting. Leave me a comment and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.